So I hope all
Okay.
the production issues are solved, and we'll be right back with the stream. So, talking about the bans, because all of these players are already in the lobby. So right, Bishi is a really excellent Darius player. So do you think it's going to be a
Yeah.
direct pass to Darius, or do you think Darius is going to be banned this time?
I mean, when if you look at the lobby right now, Bishi's on the top. This can be hinting that they are going for a first pick
So I
Baron,
hope all the
but they can
production
always
issues are
swap
solved,
in
and
game. So like, I think
what the
the
bans, but all
blue
these players
team
are
should
already in the
actually
lobby.
like ban the Darius.
Oh, and already the bans are starting. It's going to be a first one, a Galio ban coming out by Dynasty. But talking about Galio, but I've been seeing a lot of Galio in the meta these days, but when the other champions
No, no,
like
no, no, Chief.
Diana,
I mean, Diana, a Galio does a lot in team fight. A Galio mid can provide for team fights all across the map. It is actually a very good pick right now, and it truly deserves a ban because a good Galio player can turn team fights around.
yep.
Okay, and now we see a Wukong ban coming out. What do you think about this, Chief?
Well, I have to say Wukong is still the king of the jungle for me. No matter how good Lee Sin is, no matter how good Kha'Zix is, but Wukong still remains the top. Wukong is
Yeah,
Wukong is that niche pick which every jungler plays. He's very excellent in the jungle role, and also provides a CC in the team.
yeah. The CC does a lot in team fights. A good knockup can win games with team fights too. So this is probably a ban aimed towards their jungler. I see no escape plays Wukong.
Hmm? So the next ban coming out is going to be a Renekton ban. Yes, oh my god, I have to tell this thing about Renekton. Renekton is the cancer hero in Baron Lane. If it's not banned, you definitely have to pick it or it's a rush.
I
No,
mean,
the other
you see literally every team playing Renekton right now, Chief. Like every team you see, there is someone or the other who uses Renekton. The champion right now is just so busted on game that I mean the champion secures lane easy. It wins. Okay, Fiora might beat Renekton, but other than that, there are hardly a few barrel leaders which can hold lane against a good Renekton. And he brings in so much in the team fights. There's sustain and this damage burst. He even provides a point like CC and has two dashes. He can just go and create plays.
I really want to be seeing, Lulu Renekton combo going on up in this match because, not this match, maybe in the coming matches because Renekton Lulu is just such a busted combo. People have been spamming Renekton Lulu in the rank games as well.
I mean, I think Lulu would do better with someone who would actually like use their basic attacks to deal damage, like an ADC like Jinx, Vayne. These people would actually go better with Lulu. I think a Renekton with Lulu, all it's gonna do is make him huge, but I don't see the point. Jinx can do a lot more damage with Lulu.
Yeah, but you're actually right. Big things are always better, but not just
Yeah.
make me wrong way about that.
Okay, that was actually a good one.
I'm not really sure. Are there going to be six bans in this game? It's actually
Yes,
six
there
games,
is
six bans,
supposed to be
right?
six bands. Yeah, it's a best of five. I think. Yeah, there are six bands. I'll just type it out.
Has to be 6 bans, exactly. So the next one coming out by TGT is going to be Brom ban. Yes, of course.
Oh
Leaving a
yeah,
Brom
the broken
in the
support.
Indian lobby. Yeah, it's just cancer.
Yeah, the passive man. It's like this is either you ban it or you pick it kind of champion right now.
Yep, and with Grom being bad, what are the supports do you expect to be, picked up in this match? Especially Jana has been getting a lot of momentum and a lot of fame as well. A lot of people, a lot of support mates are shifting slowly towards Grom to supports like Nami, Jana. So, what do you
I
think is going to
mean,
be the support pick for this game?
I don't know, Chief. The support pick, it's probably gonna be based on how the rest of the team plans the picks out. Because a support pick has to go along with the team's plan. You can't just pick a champion for no reason. So I'd probably want to see how the teams draft because that's it's all based on their ideas and how they want to execute it right now.
I think there seems to be a bit of confusion amongst the team, whether it's six bands, whether it's four bands. So, just to be clear, all of these games in semi-finals and finals are just going to be best of
A
five,
six
and there
man
will be
game.
six band games every single day.
Uh,
Okay. Also, guys, if you're new to the stream, make sure to like the stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also make sure to share the stream because this is going to be another fun match. After yesterday, of course, you guys must have enjoyed the game yesterday. Banner the Hawks versus Level Up India. So this is just going to be another fun game to watch. TGT versus Dynasty. So just share the stream with your friends so that when they can come and watch.
Okay, I think the bans are Galio, Wukong, Renekton, Brom. Okay, they have to ban 2 more champions each.
Okay, so bans have already
Okay, it's
come out. It's going
Gragas
to
and
be a
Ari.
Gragas
Okay, it's
ban.
done. It's done. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a
Ah, man.
Gragas ban and an Ari ban.
Okay, let me be honest with you. The Gragas ban is okay, fine. We can accept the Gragas ban. But Irie ban, really? Who even bans Irie? Is it even banned Vertier these days?
Wait, did the ban come out from? Yeah, it came out from TGT. So this is
Wow.
highly surprising. I I mean, I think the mid laner plays good Airy. I mean, he is. He does have 300 matches on Airy. Come on, man. Like, it probably might be a respect ban because a good Airy can charm you and she can do a lot of damage during team fights, bro. It's like she just disturbs you. It's a point click charm. If it lands, it gets you a free gank, it gets you a free kill. It does a lot.
Okay, but I would say, I mean, I still don't agree with the Irie ban, but still, yeah, you are actually completely right. One Irie or good Irie can actually change the whole team fight. With the charms, with the dashes, with the mobility, she can do everything.
Yeah, she has 3 dashes, which allows her to get out of ganks easily, and it even gives her a lot of opportunity to make aggressive plays on the map.
Also, now that Lee Sin's open, Diana's open, and even Pantheon's open, Siegefried, Code Excalibur on his Pantheon was an absolute beast. You would
Yeah,
have
I
seen his
just saw that
Pantheon
game.
gameplay.
I saw that game, Chief. That was real good. Siege just showing why he is one of the best junglers out there, and that was just brilliant.
But I really want to see a Pantheon gameplay again because Pantheon is such an underrated hero, and people don't usually play Pantheon a lot. But Siege knows how to play Pantheon. He knows how to play him well.
Yes, Siege plays Pantheon well, and he also plays Gragas jungle really good. But we saw the Gragas being banned. Maybe that was directed towards Siege or Bishi.
Okay, but nevertheless, the Fiora has been picked by Bishi, and we all know Bishi is the Fiora god metal. We all know Fiora, like Fiora, no, Bishi on Fiora. I know it's a very good player, makes outplays, 1 versus 2 outplays. We'll all seen it on stream as well. So it's going
Yeah,
to be
I would
really
like
fun to
to
watch.
see the matchup on his lane today. Like, he has done it often, and I would want to see what the blue team has planned to pick against Bishi because they might have seen this coming. We all know that Bishi, as you said, he's a good Fiora. I want to see what the blue team has planned to counter this instead.
Are we really going to be seeing a Ramos pick in a competitive scene? And yes, it is going to be a Ramos pick coming out by Steechfield. What do you feel about this Ramos pick? Because we don't see Ramos in ranks, we don't see Ramos in PvPs, we don't see Ramos anywhere.
I mean, Ramos. So what the red team is going for right now is they have Fiora, Ziggs, who deals a great amount of damage and can poke. So they have more of a kite kind of comp. So all they need Ramos to do is be a front line for the team fights. So the main reason for having Ramos is just to soak in all that damage. Meanwhile, Ziggs and Ezreal can poke out damage and hope to clean up the entire enemy line before they get through them.
Oh, well, let's see how Seed is going to be playing on this Ramos. Can he make some OP plays like how he does on this Pantheon? So let's just get into the match now.
Yep, this will be an exciting game, but we see an Akali and Fiora matchup on the Baron lane. What do you think about this matchup, Chief?
Kali versus Fiora. I'm not really sure who wins in the matchup, but both of these players are extremely skilled, and I do feel I think Akali is going to be outshining Fiora in the early game, and but as the game goes on and Fiora scales, it's just going to be Fiora winning a lane. I don't think Akali is going to be even standing a chance against Fiora.
I mean, I think it will be a pretty interesting matchup, Chief. We have an amazing game right in front of us, and it's gonna start anytime. I can't wait to see how this will turn out.
And also talking about the mid lane pick, it's Oriana. Oriana is like she was one of the most broken picks, insta pick in the back in the day, but Oriana these days, I know she's fallen out of meta, but No, we all know if Oriana gets to the late game, she can just literally do one ultimate on you, and all of you are dead. The damage
The
she
thing with
provides, the
Oriana,
CC she provides, I mean, she's an absolute
yeah,
beast in the late game.
Oriana is a total beast late game, but the problem is, will this game scale all that late, or will TGT end the game before it starts?
And also, why are we seeing this? The Akali in the mid lane and the Oriana is probably going to be going bottom lane. Is that what it is? Oriana going in the bottom lane?
Oh yeah, I mean, the lane swap is actually a good idea. Oriana can probably clear waves, so these guys can pressure a Fiora. What they're doing right now is sending two people top to counter the Fiora. So this is actually well played by the blue team.
Well, it is going to be, they just want to shut down BC on this Fiora. They don't want the Fiora to scale. Like, absolutely not into late game. That's the
A
reason why we need
Fiora
Kaisa and Nami.
is a Fiora is a really good champion 1v1, but a 2v1 this early can not be good news for Bishi. At this point, the blue team should actually look to deny more minions than just pushing the wave in, which gives Fiora a chance to get more gold. Okay, we see a rotation coming by Jana. She's coming in the lane. She's here to assist the Fiora. Okay,
Also,
Fiora
they are
goes in
going to
there,
be
look for
doing
an
pretty deep. They are
engage.
going to be
This
getting a
gets
kill
real
on.
close. Oh my god, and Dynasty gets the first kill. Okay, so that was TGT with the first kill, but that was well played. The rotations came out real quick by the team, and we see the jungler looking for a gank again.
Well, Speech did look for a gang, but with right? People going one versus two against the Fiora, but when it's a proper two versus two even matchup, you know what happens. You get the
Yeah,
first blood, you die, but you just saw what happened. The flicker is going to be coming out by the Darwin as well. Really great rotation for the Jigs.
and a Jana really does a lot more than a Nami would during ganks. Her slows are really annoying, and we just saw the outcome right there, which gave the red team the first blood.
So talking about the bottom lane, so like Castiel versus the Oriana matchup, both of them are not really engaging, not really playing aggressive, just focusing on farming throughout because both these champions are late game scaling champs. No, Castiel waiting for his Trinity, and after that, sorry, Manamune and his Trinity, Oriana waiting for a Leandry, try just farm up, not engage, and only when the team fights come, just go in and just go ham, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and these guys are just trying to clear waves and sustain right now. They just want to focus all the time on farming. So they're just hoping to take the fight during objectives.
Also, I think we might
Okay.
see a potential kill in the top lane again because the rotation by Jana is going to be coming out. Fiora is pushing to the lane, but
I mean, I do see blue lane backing out, but I'm interested to see if the J4 would go in for the gank on Ezreal, because Ezreal is right outside, and there are no wards on the river, so there might be a chance for a gank. But no, he just heads back to his jungle. Okay.
well, top lane, that is a gank in the top lane coming out by the Ramus, and they end up securing the kill. Fiora was going in deep, trying to secure the kill on the
Okay,
Kai'Sa,
and
but
this is
oh my
Zigzag.
god.
Oh, she gets out with 1 HP, Chief. She gets out with 1 HP.
I mean, like, if Fiora had tanked the tower for a little bit more, probably the Jig's ulti would have been enough to kill the Kai'Sa, but it is what it is. Star life for TGT.
I mean, you can't say nothing to that, Chief. That was 1 HP. They did their part, but she just got lucky.
Yeah, she just got lucky. Yeah, actually, kind of right.
She just got lucky. Okay, now we see the recalls coming in. So the red team is planning to reset and start the dragon. So they will delay it a bit. It's not gonna be an instant clear. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, there is a duel going out between both the laners.
Especially being a mountain drake, and it will be really important for both the junglers to secure it, right? Because the Amazon is mountain drake, even Jarvan on his mountain drake, they both become just
Yeah.
extremely tanky.
So this would probably be an important break to contest, considering both the teams has one front liner for them, and they need to sustain a lot of damage.
They are going to be look at the Navi taking this Navi too much damage coming out from the scale, man. So ever since
Uh,
the Kai'Sa went in for the top lane and missing out a lot of form in the bottom lane, the Asriel is quite ahead of the Kai'Sa already.
okay,
Also,
we
the
see
gank
the
is going to be
Ram is
coming out.
coming in.
The
He's
Rammus
gonna
is
go
the
in. Okay, he flashes in, but he misses. Okay, there's a taunt coming in. They get a kill. Now they have to back out, but no, blue team gets the jungler out. Okay, now this could be a potential free dragon for the blue team unless or until the red team fights for it. Okay, they're going in. Fiora, she actually misses the dash. Okay, now she parries Jana, uses her ult to disengage, and no, now she backs out. Akali goes in and she gets the clean. Akali gets the clean, and this is probably going to be a free dragon for the blue team. Ziggs just backing out right now. Okay, we see Ramus coming in, but he's probably going to be too late. Blue team should just do a great job at cleaning this and backing out. Okay, Ramus just sees the dragon being taken and he goes back to farm his blue buff.
Oh, but it was really what a great fight taken by the Akali. Just coming in, getting the triple kills, using the Shroud really well, and just hiding behind the Shroud, going in and out, doing damage in the between.
Dude, that Akali actually did a lot in the team fight. She went in the end and she secured 3 kills for the team, actually turning the fight around. Because at the start, I thought the red team actually did a great job and they would win the fight, but Akali just changed the tides over there.
Well, yeah, we might be right. This is not going to be like what you were expecting. Even I was expecting. They're not going to be a clean 3-0 sweep. So Dynasty is showing what they're made up of, like especially after this fight.
Dynasty is showing that they have did their homework, they've studied their opponents, they know what the picks are coming out, and they are ready for whatever TGT is throwing at them. This just shows the dedication the team has towards the game, and it's probably a great sight to watch.
I'm really sure about this. Ramos pick is something which I'm very skeptical about because Ramos is not that great of a jungler, right?
I mean, Ramus is not that great of a jungler, but in this comp, he just does what the team needs him to do. Because late game, Ziggs and Israel scales better, so they can deal a lot of damage if the red team manages to secure a goal lead and focus the farm on both their laners.
At this point, everyone is just waiting for the other team to engage, the other team to make a mistake, and Ramos, just
Okay,
circling
that's a
around.
that's a bubble knock on the Fiora, but she managed to back out. But they do end up getting poked a bit. Okay, meanwhile, we do see J4 starting the rift. Okay, is that a
They're just gonna
bait?
go for it because they know that the Fiora is
Okay,
gonna die.
now, okay, there's a fight. Okay, Jana actually disengages that. Akali would have actually gotten the sweep, but Jana does a good job in saving his Fiora right there.
Actually, it was a really great ultimate coming out by the Jana, really saving the Fiora, saving the Rams as well.
Okay.
Tsunami is going to be coming in by the Nami. Jarun is going to be going in the deep, but then Arthur going to be having enough damage. The Akali is going to be there to back them up. If the Akali flash misses, oh my god, the Akali missed up a flash. If
But
he had
on
got
the
a flash,
other hand,
with the Jana and the Fiora.
but on the other hand, while this fight was happening on, the blue team managed to secure the rift, and they did get a kill on the Ramus right inside the pit. Okay, we see red team rushing in just to stop the tower, but I think they should have went mid instead, because now Akali gets a free tower at mid. The rotations should have been kind of different, but it is what it is, and we see Dynasty making most of it, and they get 2 towers out of this trade, which is actually a great thing for them, because now they have put up a 5k goal lead.
Well, I have to say, I think Dynasty really has a really great chance at winning this fight because all I would say is it's just going to be jungle difference in this game. Ramos is not being as useful as any other jungler would have been, especially with the Lee Sin open, with the Pantheon open. I don't know why even go for a Ramos pick.
I mean, right now the J4 is just showing the difference between the tire difference between the junglers, and we see another dragon spawning another 15 seconds. Will Ramus be able to secure the Cloud Drake, or will they let it go?
Well, we are seeing Akali split push in the top lane, and she's going to be rotating for the dragon as well. Nami doesn't know the Ramos is here. Ramos is going to get spotted, but he's going to be managing to escape.
Ramus actually gives vision on all 4 of the members for the red team, so they do know where they are. Okay, now they're actually heading into the dragon pit. They already dropped the redemption. Okay, the Zigzags come in, but it misses everyone. The dragons are extremely low. Okay, Nami ults in. Okay, it hits 3. Okay, now Kali just goes in and gets the clean. Meanwhile, the backline of the blue team literally untouched. All of them at full HP. They will get this clean up, which should be an easy job for the Kaisa. But Bishi is running away. He gets a dash forward. and blue team just decides to go back to the waves and start pushing the lanes instead.
Well, it's going to be really hard for TGT to come back in this game, especially after being like almost 5k goal behind, or even the two dragons secured by Dynasty. It's just going to be adding up to the late game. There's nothing really even
Now,
Australia can do at this point. Even though the Fiora is 1-0, Australia is 2-2, but will that difference even matter because the Kaisa is 3-0, the 303, the Oriana is 107, already having an Archangel, already having the Dianthis. Will the
okay, I'm
difference be
sorry, I
too
just
much?
glitched out.
Yep, I hope you're back
Hel-
now, but
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Okay, there was a slight bug right there. I think Discord just lagged me out.
yep, let's see what will
Okay,
be happening because
probably gonna
TGT
see a tower dive up top.
you can't really have a tower dive without a cannon lane, right? And okay, I really thought the Jaro knows what.
Okay, that was
Okay,
some insane poke damage by Oriana. That was just one skill, and look at the HP.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Oriana, right? Well, Oriana is going to be a late game beast. Anyway, Nakali is going to be a late game beast. I think they're possibly looking for a gank on Vishy, but yeah, that could be doing otherwise. And
I mean, both of the teams are trying to find fight right around the Baron, so they could actually secure a few kills and get on that objective. But we see a fight breaking out in mid. Nami ult used, but there is no follow up. Akali tries to go in, but she misses a skill shot too. The blue team should actually back out at this point, but they're actually going in. The red team does a great job at just parrying everything. The Jana tornado hits the J4.
but I have to say, what an amazing escape by Oriana over there. She was caught between four of them using the status and still using the flicker, using the shield on herself. That was really great
Yes,
escape by the Oriana.
yeah, Chief, that was actually like really pretty sweet. Right now, I think Bishi is gonna get a free tower up top. But no, we do see the Akali coming in, but will it be too late? Okay, no, Bishi decides to back out. That's actually good because or else you would have to bribe for it.
Well, at this point, what TGT should be looking to do is, get all the farm funnel on Astral because it's just going to be the Astral who's going to be carrying in the late game, right? The Ramus is already quite behind. The Jana should just be assisting the Astral, getting him to the late game, getting all the items, just trying to save the Astral.
I mean, out of the 6 kills, there are 4 kills on the Fiora right now, but Fiora scales a bit less compared to an Ezreal would. So yeah, I think they actually should funnel all the go to Ezreal, but Ziggs can also deal a lot of damage at late game. So it's probably going to be one of these two champs they have to try funneling all that gold on.
And also, guys, if you're new to it, make sure to like the stream because there are 90 of you watching, but there are just 39 likes on the stream. So make sure to click that button over there, getting some few more likes on the stream. Let's try to hit 50 likes right now.
Okay, Chief, we see the Infernal Drake, which is gonna spawn in another 23 seconds. This is one of the most important drakes on the game. Both the teams are definitely gonna contest for it, but we're gonna see what happens. Will TGT actually make a comeback at this point, or will Dynasty actually continue on with the snowball which is going on at this moment?
Well,
It's
if
not a
TGT has to
snowball.
come back in this game, if TGT has to come back in this game, it has to be over here. Because anywhere else, it's not just going to be mattering. Because if Dynasty is going to be winning this fight, there's going to be no comeback for TGT. TGT has to make something happen right now.
Yeah, Infernal Drake on a Kaisa is not good news at this point. She is just gonna do a lot more damage after this Drake, so they should do everything they can to deny it.
And also look at the amount of poke that TGT
Oh
going to
yeah,
be
there's
having.
a four-man
Going in,
engage. Okay,
one man ulti. The Jits ulti is going to be following up as well. But the really great disengage coming out with an army ultimate. Really knocking literally everyone away from the Jarvan, knocking everyone away from the Oriana. This
okay,
Nami
that was a
saved
really
this
good
game.
engage. I thought that would have ended a whole lot worse for Dynasty, but the Nami are really doing the job, saving the team. Will okay, but the team they secure the Infernal Drake. They managed to deny the Infernal Drake on Dynasty, and this could probably be a good start for them. They could actually start working their way to a comeback at this point.
But at this point, the way TGT is playing, pushing out both the lanes, there's a fat minion wave in the bottom lane, a fat minion wave in the Baron lane. The goalie is slowly thinning out. So that might be a possible comeback for TGT in this game.
There's always a chance for a comeback, Chief. We see both the lanes being pushed out. Now, if the blue team splits out, the red team can actually force a fight up top, which will give them free kills because there are three of the red team up top. Okay, no, we see Jana recalling. Okay, I have no idea what they're doing going right now, but we'll see.
But how to see? Because also it depends on the whole. All of the teams actually would depend on Nami hitting a proper bubble, right? More than just Oriana having a proper ulti, Jarvan going in and assisting the Oriana, but it's just going to be more depending on how good the Nami engages are.
I mean,
If she can
Nami's bubbles
secure a good
are
engagement,
exactly not easy to hard, Chief. Both of us have played Nami and we know it. It's really hard to land people on that bubble. So, if she does manage to do that, kudos to her, Chief.
if she does smash Yura, she's just going to be securing the win, scaling really this game. Both these teams
Okay,
just
at
look
this
very
point,
passive now.
yeah, at this point, both the teams have decided that we are not gonna fight anymore. We are just gonna go back to our lane and farm. According to me, Dynasty should have not let this happen. They should have actually forced fights when they were ahead in farm. I mean, they're still ahead in farm, but if they don't push right now, TGT are gonna slowly crawl back up. They're gonna finish the goal lead by farming the creeps. Just they're gonna split the wave up, and they're just gonna delay for time. That's all they're looking to do right now.
I think what these teams are looking to do is, for just fight for that one elder fight, and if you win that, they're just going to be winning it. So I don't think Dynasty should be looking forward for that because by chance, God forbid that happens, it's just going to be, such a bad luck for them. Also, like
I
the way
mean,
Fiora is split pushing in the bottom lane, Akali is able to go in. Akali is possibly looking for a kill on the Fiora. Fiora is going to be flickering away and just going back to safety. But if
okay,
it
the
wasn't for
Fiora
the
just
flick,
managed to get away, but Akali goes into chase, but Fiora just dashes out from the wall. She gets out of it alive.
Fiora is just going to be coming back into the lane. Akali knows she's there, but is she going to be going in for the kill?
Okay,
Yes,
the blue team
Akali
are
is
going in for
looking.
Rammus right now. Rammus does have vision on them, but he backs out. Now Kai'Sa's just gonna push the wave in. We see the red team recalling. Okay, Fiora's going back in. The Akali's pretty low. Okay, they're actually gonna fight. But no, Fiora decides to back out. The smoke screen from Akali is just forcing Bishi to back out at this point. Okay, we see a Nami rotating bot right now. But Fiora just leaves the jungle and they're back to farming that lane. This is pretty much a stalemate at this point, Chief. What do you think? Do you think the teams are just gonna wait until the dragon and force it out to a battle which both of them might win or lose? Or will they force something out right now?
Actually, no, this is the perfect time for Dynasty to force a fight out because if it gets to the stage where you're going to be fighting for that one dragon that you're going to be spawning in 30 seconds, and especially it being the Elder Ocean Drake.
I mean, this is the choice the team is making. At this point, we just have to see that do Dynasty have the plan? Do they have what it takes to win the fight? Or will TGT manage to make a comeback on the last Infernal Elder Dragon? Sorry, the Elder Dragon is going to spawn in another 5 seconds.
Well, seeing that Fiora is pushing top, I think Dynasty should be looking forward to start the Drake as soon as possible, and that's exactly what they are doing. Just going in for Dragon, trying to burst it down, but this Ramos going to be there in time. This Ramos is just slowly just doing it over there, but
At
is he
this
going to be having
point,
a
they should
proper
just
jump?
wait
Jinx
there.
is going to be coming in. The Fear also is coming away with the recall. But Akali missed. What did Akali just do? Akali messed up that whole fight. I really have to say, they literally gave TGT this game in a platter. After winning such brilliant fights in the first two games, Akali just goes in and throws. She walks into the Ramos's ulti radius, gets done. The Oh my god, I really have to say this. Akali literally threw this game. It was such an easy game for the Dynasty, and Akali just goes in and throws this game. But I have to say that was a really great engage coming out by Ramos as well, and a follow up
I
by the Jana
mean,
to Naros.
that Ziggs ult just chunked out half of their HP before the fight even started. The fight was already over at that point, Chief. The blue team actually threw the game big time, and TGT deserves this victory as they're gonna finish the game. They're not gonna wait, they're just gonna end this game. And that's 1-0 for TGT.
Well, I have to say, Dynasty really played really well in this game, but that one mistake coming out by the Akali and that amazing ultimate coming out by Jix and the Ramos, just going and having a proper creative impact all over the region.
I
And
mean,
TGT.
the Dynasty did a really good job at the start, Chief, but they should have pushed that lead when they had the lead up. They should not have went passive, which gave TGT a chance to farm again and eventually pull off a comeback. Okay, at looking at the
Actually,
damage chart,
looking at the damage, I just look at the damage numbers from the Jix, 24k damage on the Jix. And that's just too much for even for a mid laner of that stature. Still not even being close to the Jix, 15k on Asriel and 24k on Snowy.
I mean, the Ziggs did a lot of damage. He landed great ults in almost every fight in a lot of situations, and he did a lot of poking. I mean, Ziggs just have to do that, Chief. They just have to stand at the end and they have to throw the bombs. They have to position themselves in the fight, and we see 25k damage coming out from Snowy.
Yep. So with that, we're going to be coming to an end for the game one of the Best of 5 series. So guys, stay tuned. Just don't go away because just keep your popcorn ready because this series is just far from over. This is just
Yeah,
far
we
from over.
gotta see if Dynasty just pulls off a comeback at this point, or will TGT just stop the game, or will TGT just stop game 2 again?
Yep. Let's see what happens and let's jump right into the second game.
Alright, Chief, we'll see you back in like 5 minutes.
It's just going to be 2 minutes. Well, you know what, Kyoto? You know what I've been missing in this game? All we're missing
what do you
is
miss?
toxicity in the chat. Where is the
Wait.
toxicity?
There is no toxicity in the chat? Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
There is no toxicity today. I don't know why, but there's no toxicity in the chat at all. I'm really missing the toxicity, to be honest.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama on the last chat. Come on, man. You gotta top that one off this time.
And someone. Okay, I'm in the lobby. Let me just invite you. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Okay, got it. Chief, did I miss any ban or is Wukong the first ban?
I think the Wukong's going to be the first ban coming out by TGT. These teams not waiting for any longer, just going straight into the bans.
I mean, that's a good thing because they do have the rest of the 4 players in the lobby right now. So they could just inform the guy who joins later. They're just not wasting any time at this point. They just want to get this over with.
I know, but I mean, let's just wait for the Dynasty players to come in and let's start with the bans as well. Let's talk about the first ban, the Wukong ban coming in again. Does TGT really doesn't want to play against any Wukong?
I mean, Wukongs have did a lot in this tournament, Chief. You have seen it. You have seen it from Outlaw, and yeah, he does do. He is a bit annoying in map. He has a double knockup, a 4 knockup. To be honest, you can clone it and you can use it twice. That is pretty broken, Chief, if you ask me.
Well, even though Outlaw had his Wukong, not just talking about that match, but all of you must be remembering that moment yesterday, right? Where the Baron was the MVP of the game, wiping out 4 people of level up. That
Oh
was
my
the
God.
MVP.
Why did you remind me of that?
That's what I would say. That was the support difference. You dying to the Baron buff. No, you didn't die to the Baron buff, right? You died to the Jinx only.
Yeah, I thought I'd go blow a body blocker ult, but I didn't realize the Baron would kill up 3 of my teammates at that point.
And so enough about yesterday. Let's just talk about today's game.
Yeah, let's get back to this game. We just see the first ban, which was a Wukong ban, and there has been no bans from Tenacity. What do you think they would go for at this point, Chief? Because the Ziggs literally did a lot of damage. Tenacity should be looking forward to taking the Ziggs out at this point.
Especially after such a wonderful performance by Snowy on his face, on 24k damage over. What was the time period? I think 20 minutes. Was the game 20 minutes?
Yeah, it was a 20-minute game.
doing 24k damage in a 20 minutes game is actually quite huge. So I really do think they should be banning out the Ziggs at least in later point in time because yeah, must ban. There's gonna be a Galio ban.
We see a Galio ban instead of the Ziggs. Then again, Galio is a good ban, so it provides a lot. Like I said, Chief, it provides a lot for the team. So we have to see what TGT responds with this.
But I think TGT is just gonna be going again for the same usual bans. What did the ban last time? I really
Okay,
forgot the
Chief,
bans last
I really don't have a great memory, Chief. I'm just like you.
time. Low elo noob. You are a low elo noob.
Yeah, yeah, but so are you, Chief. Yeah, you gotta carry me, but you don't do that. So you're such high maintenance.
Well, these teams are really delaying or delay coming in the bans by both these teams. Especially the first ban coming in so fast, and there's such a long delay between the bans. It's kind of weird.
I'm, I mean, they did ask for them to ban quick, but now TGT seems to have disappeared. Maybe there might be a network issue. We never know because recently I've seen a lot of network spikes in these custom lobbies.
And
Okay,
also,
we
guys,
see a
if you don't,
Gragas ban.
and that's just going to be another usual ban because no, since there are six bans, you have to ban something or the other. So Gragas is just one of the usual bans, which most of the teams do it.
Yeah, his ult is just too easy. Come on, Chief. Now anyone can walk up and aim a freaking circle that huge and make plays.
And also, guys, if you didn't know, like a lot of you guys seem to be confused whether it's a best of three or a best of five. It's going to be a best of
It's a
five
best of
from
five.
now onwards. The semis is going to be a best of five, and the semis is going to be a best of five, and finals as well. Of course, the finals, obviously, one of the finalists is going to be Band of the Hawks. It's going to be
Oh
really
yeah,
fun to watch the Band of the Hawks playing against a really good team against the one who wins this match, a best of five series with them.
I mean, Band of the Hawks is at this point one of the best teams out there, and it would be interesting to see either of these teams face them because we need to see if anyone's out there who could put up a fight.
And also, the next band is going to be coming out by Dynasty. It's going to be a Renekton band. I will say you should ban, the last game, Dragons and Renekton were banned.
Y-
Both of these banned
It's
again in
pretty
one
much the
ban.
same bands, yeah. It's pretty much the same bands. Okay, now we see a Ziggs bands coming out from TGT, which is surprising because they have the first pick. They could actually go for Ziggs right now, but they take it away.
Well, it has to be a brown band coming out now because it's just the last band left. And if it's not a brown band, it's going to be the most stupidest thing you can ever do. Guys, if you're new to Wild Rift or even if you're pretty old to Wild Rift, always ban Brom in the Indian law. There's
Yeah.
nothing else. You have to ban Brom or else you're gay. That's
Dude,
all I can say.
Indians love tanks, bro. They have this thing for tanks that every one of us, the tankier the champion, the better we like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's always been like that. Even in AOV, even on League of Legends Wild Rift, everyone loved that.
Tankier the champion, better the champion. That's what I say. And that's exactly why I love Lulu as well. You can make the tanky champion even tankier, even bigger.
That's that's why I love Tane.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here are the bands. It's Wukong, Galio, Gragas, Ziggs, Renekton, and Brom. We see the G's, and the game's gonna start at any second.
And also, like, I really want to see a Camille game this time because it's been a long time since I've seen a Camille in a competitive play because usually people prefer going mid lane champions like Diana. Yes, there's gonna be a Diana pick.
Okay, no, we see an Ari pick. The Ari
No,
was banned out last game, Chief. Remember, this was an Ari which was target ban. So I'm really curious to see what kind of plays we can expect from Snowy this game.
well, I repick over the Diana pick. I'm not really sure about this, but yeah, fine. I am okay with the Irie pick, and also the picks coming out by Dynasty. Picking up the Kali, picking up the Fiora.
I mean, the Akali last game did a lot for them, but this game we see a Fiora, so it's probably gonna be an Akali at mid lane.
Yep, it has to be a Kali in mid lane. And also talking about the picks by TGT. It's going to be the same Australian pick by Prophet again.
Okay, and
And
here we see the
Pantheon.
Pantheon, the pick which you were expecting to see, Chief. It's right here. What do you expect from this game?
Well, I really, I know that Pantheon is going to be an absolute beast on, sorry, Siege is going to be an absolute beast on Pantheon. I really want to, see him, going in 1 versus 2, is coming in with the ultis. I'm really excited to see this Pantheon gameplay.
Yeah, Seed's Pantheon was really clean last game, Chief, and we see another J4 pick from the red team. They did go for a J4 last game, but it didn't work out for them. So we're gonna see what happens this time.
Well, it is kind of, a squishy kind of comp because Akali is squishy, Tristana is squishy, even Rakan is not that tanky.
Rakan
Versus,
isn't all that tanky, but it's gonna be J4 who's frontlining for them. The Fear and the Kali are two dual laners who can fight, but the team lacks CC, Chief. It's only the Rakan who has knockups and the Tristana with the knockback.
well, you are
Meanwhile,
quite right. So let's see how Dynasty, plans to play around with the comp. It doesn't have any CC versus a comp it has a Darius who can hook you versus
and the
Pantheon who can stun
Pantheon has a
you.
one point click stun. Ari has a point click charm. Jana has her tornadoes. And Darius has his hook Chief. Everyone has pretty much everyone other than the Ezreal has a CC. And I favor the draft of the blue team over the red team. So I'm curious to see how this game's gonna turn out.
Okay, so let's see what's going to be happening in this game. Especially, of course, Beshi on his God King Darius.
Oh yeah, Bishion is God King Darius. This is a Darius which is banned usually, but today we're gonna see what he manages to do this game. Will Dynasty actually pull a comeback at this point, or will TGT finish this game 2-0?
I really do hope to see a comeback and look at the Jana rotations going in top lane with the Darius.
Okay, this is interesting. They're gonna go and ward in the red buff. The red team has no idea about this. The red team literally has no idea about the wards at this point. Okay, they do.
They do know, and he's already starting with the turns and not really going to the buff. So he does know that they block for it, so he knows.
Okay, right now we just see a one-on-one at the bottom lane. The Tristana has already got the advantage. Okay, the Ezreal is poked out to half HP and is forced to eat his orbs.
And also, such a beautiful lane freeze coming out as well in the bottom lane, not really trying to, then trying to deny the farm from the Tristana.
I mean, no, I think the red team actually did a better job at the bot lane at this point because they just poked out and the red team has priority at bot lane right now. Okay, we see an engage coming in from the Akali. Okay, the Rakan goes in. Okay, this is actually really well played by the red team. Dynasty actually putting up a really good fight at the start. They have priority on both bot and mid lane, so they're gonna get this cuddler for free. Now they're moving in for a gank at bot lane, but Ezreal sees it coming, really able to dodge this. Yeah, he dashes back. Now Rakan goes in for the engage, but J4 already turns back. This forces a flash out. That was unnecessary, but
But also, like,
now they're just gonna
since
go
the
farm the
can't spend
lanes.
too much time in the bottom lane, Jaron having unsuccessful gank, it's not giving ample amount of time for the players of TGT, the jungler, and the mid lane to rotate over and trying to go for a counter gank, which they were kind of successful, forcing out the flash on the
I
Jaron as well,
th-
and also securing the
yeah.
scuttle.
I think the red team should not have went for the bottom lane gank. They should have focused their time on gaining the scuttle first and then moved on for a gank at bot lane. This was just a bad play by the red team. Okay,
I'm not really sure what Jaron is doing because at this point, getting the double scuttlers on the Pantheon, getting quite ahead in early game, especially with Pantheon being the one of the best early game champion Darius. I don't think
I
it's
mean
gonna
a
be a
double
good
scuttle
idea.
is always gonna be trouble, chief. Now these guys have literally control on the entire river. The blue team will make ganks on all three lanes while the red team can't do much. They have to play passive at this point. They did not rotate when needed and they lose their advantage. Okay, we see the
Darius
Rakan
can be
going in for
slight
an
chance
engage.
of
They're gonna
engaging the bottom
okay.
lane.
Tristana jumps in, which was actually bad, but now we see a Pantheon ult. He jumps in, he stuns the Rakan. Okay, they get a kill. The blue team actually gets the kill. Okay, and Ari cleans up the second. They go in. J4 managed to get out, but this is pretty much over at this stage for the red team because they're already at a 2k deficit and it's not even the laning phase.
Makali is trying to come in for the gank, but not just a gank, it's more of a cleanup, but she's not able to secure anything over there. Just going in too late.
Now, Akali did not recall. Now, this is not good news, Chief, because the dragon timer has already started. Sh-
And it's going to be a win dragon, so it's not really a priority for any of the teams, because everyone just wants a mountain, the infernal drakes. Nobody really wants a win drake,
I mean, the win rate would actually do good for the blue team at this point because they have champions who can kite. They have an Israel, they have an Jana, and they have an Ari at this point. So the win rate would do good for these guys.
Also, I don't know whether Pantheon ulti is wasted. He can't really, just going with the ulti, just come flying, and that's from above type feeding, coming and creating havoc between the team.
I mean, yeah, his ult it just gives him access throughout the map. He just anywhere late. There's no way he's gonna be late for an objective with his ult. He's gonna be there at time when needed. And
Also,
Cheats
top
just
lane, we are seeing that is being pretty dominant in the lane. The Fiora has been forced back to recall. Now I don't think she'll be able to defend unless she backs off what she is.
okay. Fiora should not stay in lane. Okay, she actually parries the strike. Now will this be trouble for Bishi? Oh, Fiora almost gets the kill. She
Wow,
misses the vital. The hit on the vital would have guaranteed Fiora a kill right there, but she misses it. Now both the laners are gonna reset. Meanwhile, we see no
that
one
was really
contending
such
for
a
the
good
dragon
outplay
yet.
coming out. It was really such
That
a good
was really
outplay
well
coming out
played by
by
the
the
Fiora.
Fiora. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is just had to go and just this ulti. An amazing jump because the Irie in the middle lane. She is going to be charming the Irie. The Pantheon is just going to be going for the stun, and they are going to be able to successfully kill the Irie. Not Irie, sorry, the Kali.
The blue team gets a kill. Now they're gonna actually start the dragon up because they have a better draft at this point and they are outnumbering them. The red team should at this point just go invade the jungle at top and push top lane maybe. Instead, they just farm lanes, which is a waste of time. But now we're just gonna see the blue team head towards Rift.
Oh man, I really don't know because you're not
Meanwhile, we
contesting
see
for Dragon
Pantheon
in the first
ulting
match.
top just to prevent Fiora from taking the first tower. It was actually a good ultimate because the first tower is worth a lot more gold than the second. Okay, now we don't see
I don't know
Fiora in
what's
lane. We
worth
see
using her
might get
ulti
a
just
few
to save this
plates.
tower.
What? Okay.
Well, bottom lane, I really don't
Meanwhile
think
at
this should be
bottom
taking a
lane,
fight.
meanwhile at bottom lane, TGT literally wipes out Tristana. They get 2 kills at bot. This should be an easy tower for TGT, but will they recall? Okay, there's a fight happening at mid. We see Akali going in. This forces Eri to ult. Okay, Ari going back and she flashes in, she charms, she misses the charm, but she still managed to get the basic hit which secures the last kill. Okay, now Jefu and the rest of teams around the area. We see Pantheon is gonna start the rift. He starts the rift, he pulls it out. Will the blue team just go for it? Yeah, Jefu's recalling, so it's pretty much gonna be a free rift for the blue team.
Well, Rakan is
We
going to
see
go and be
Rakan coming
trying
in.
to fight some
Rakan
distance.
is
He's
going
going to
in
be
all
having going
alone,
in.
but that is pretty much pointless. He went in all alone. The team was not ready to follow up at this point. J4 was backing out and they go in for a steal, but they just enter at the stage. The red team should look to push other lanes, maybe get some turrets, focus on farming a bit of gold and generate some power on the heroes.
I don't really know what the Rakan thing do over there. And as you said, they need to keep farming and generate some enough farm into the Tristana so that you can just tap in the late game and just absolutely carry Dynasty. But I don't see that happening because Tristana is quite behind us in terms of farm. Azriel at 7K and Tristana just at 5K. The 2K goal difference. It's gonna be, not
That
come back.
2K goal difference is gonna be massive, Chief. It's a 2K comeback just from the laning phase. Not oh, and we see an Ezreal ult sniping Rakan out at the mid lane. I just saw that, Chief. Did you see that?
But that is such amazing map presence and map sense coming out with Prophet. Perfect ulti coming in by him, getting the snipe on the Rakan, getting a free kill as well.
Okay, meanwhile, we see Eri going in at mid on Akali, but Akali manages to dodge it with the smoke screen phase, and she gets the blade on, and she just goes in and ult, and that's a kill on Eri. Akali gets a one-on-one kill on mid lane. This is good news for the red team because that's a first kill.
Well, Rakan is going to be able to jump two of them. The Jana ulti is going to be coming in, but is it going to be enough to save the Pantheon? I don't think it's going to be enough to save the Pantheon. Yes, Rakan is managed, able to secure the kill on the Pantheon, and they will be having a good
Meanwhile, we
escape.
see Ezreal coming in. Rakan's pretty much dead now. Will Ezreal dash in? He goes in, but he misses his three. Jana misses a tornado. They should back out at this point because there's Dragon's Point in another 25 seconds. Both teams should look to reset and reposition themselves for this fight.
Also talking about top lane, Bishi is going to be going for the flicker, and he's going to be getting a kill under the tower. Such confident plays coming out by Bishi. On Darius going with the flicker, hooking the Fiora, and just tapping on ulti.
Okay, we see a rift spawn on the mid lane. This is already quite far from the turret, so it's gonna take time to hit. Meanwhile, we already see an engage coming out from the blue side. Ari maybe in a bit too deep. Rakan misses her knock up.
Well, I really don't think they have to be doing it because Irie landing all these towns and all the damage coming out.
Okay, and Ari goes.
Akali is
Akali
trying to go in
goes
deep,
in.
but this is going to be enough to save her. But is it going to be enough? She is trying to go in deep. They're trying to get the kills. But yes, they are getting the kills. Oh my god, what comeback by Dynasty?
Dynasty with the last minute clutch plays on TGT. We see Bishi coming in. Will he actually try for this? Okay, Bishi has the chance for a reset, but no, we see Rakan ulting. He goes in for the Fiora. Fiora parries, but Bishi does not use his ult yet, but Bishi gets slain too. He might have been a bit too optimistic going right between four of them. This is a free dragon for the red team. Now, will we see a comeback from this point by Dynasty?
Well, it has to be a comeback. The Pantheon is going to be coming in with his ulti, but is it going to be enough? Okay, it's not going to be enough. The
Yeah,
red team doesn't want to fight him. Even if the Pantheon was alone, they don't want to fight him. They are
that
like,
is actually
I
smart by the
recall
red
dragon.
team. Yeah, that was actually
Exactly.
smart by the red team.
Right from the PGT, this is exactly what Dynasty did in the first game, right? Getting quite ahead in the early game. Getting quite ahead in the early game and kind of throwing it in the mid game and then completely losing it in the late game. Do you think that's going to be
Now,
happening with especially looking at the comp? Pantheon is going to be falling off late game. Uh, yeah,
I mean,
Pantheon is
the
going to be
blue
falling off
team
late game.
kind of falls off late game. Yeah, it is true that they falls off late game. Ari might not scale as okay. We see a fight near the red buff. Khan going back and forth. We see Tristana's passive almost exploding. There is an ult by J4, and Akali just jumps on the back line. She pops up the smoke screen. She hits the blade. She goes back in. Is there an ultimate that's gonna follow? Yeah, she gets a kill, and Akali goes in for the second. She gets the second too. Meanwhile, the red team just cleans up. Was TGT finally losing the stride, or is this gonna be Dynasty getting even? Because I really want to see a game 4.
Yeah, well, I really want to be seeing the game for because I do think that Dynasty is going to be having a really good great comeback in this game. Especially look at the amount of aggressiveness that Rakan is showing. Tower diving, using the flickers, using the ultimate to go and chase the skill, but it wasn't enough to kill him. Of course, it wasn't enough to kill him because nobody was there to follow up the Rakan's engages. And I don't really know because look at Tristana's form at this point. Tristana is at 8.9k. No, having a static shiv, having her Infinity Edge, having all these core items on Tristana. I do feel like she is going to be able to carry Dynasty into evening out the series 1-1.
I mean, this is a pretty interesting match coming out from both the teams, Chief, at this point, because it's pretty even by both the teams. There isn't much goal difference anymore. Both the teams are at the same goal, so it's just going to be who's got the better engage at this point. Meanwhile, we see Bishi going in. He's going to frontline all that damage, which is not a good idea. So Darius, as you're not all that tanky, but yeah, Darius falls. The Akali flashes out and she gets out. That's an easy pickup for the red team, and they will take it.
Well, I had really have to say, Bishi kind of hinted over that. Trying to go in too deep for trying to get that kill on the account, but it was just a little bit too deep. When you're going
Yeah,
in
the kill on
alone
that
as
support
Darius,
was totally not worth it, Chief. Because you are a
it
Baron
wasn't
laner
worth
and
it
you do not
exactly.
want to die for a support. It's a different story when you
And
go for
now,
a better trade or an equal trade, but that was not a good trade.
no, I think really at this point, Dynasty should have just forced in the Baron fight. Take the Baron before Bishi can spawn. Now it's actually too late because Bishi has already spawned and they will be straight coming in for the Baron.
Maybe they could set up a camp at this point because TGT might not be expecting a camp. Yeah, that we see Tristana baiting them. Okay, they're going in for a fight. We see J4 backing out. They're both teams fighting each other.
Both teams start getting the Jaron ulti is going to be coming in. Preventing both of them from getting the escape. Akali is going to be going in. Yes, Akali is trying to get the kills on them. Yes, he manages to get the kills. He is going to be onto the Asriel as well. Arctic going to get the kill on Asriel. No, the Star System is going to be coming out by the Asriel. All of them are on the Asriel, but none of the Dynasty team, guys, they're just going to go in for the
Okay,
10
this
now.
could pretty much be GG, Chief. At this point, Dynasty has finished the game and they send a message out to TGT that they are in the game and they are not
Oh my
going
god.
down without a fight.
I mean, come on. Now is the perfect time for a controversy. Just tell the Rakan has to hacks, Akali has to hacks them. Just do some controversy. I need some drama right now because the drama which the game is providing, evening of the series 1-1. I need some drama now. Come on, just tell them. Akali has
Um,
hacks. Just tell something like that.
Chief, we all know if you need drama, which team you're supposed to go to.
Okay, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that and talk about the damage numbers.
Alright, let's talk about numbers, Chief. So, who did the most damage?
I'm really astonished at this point, man. Come on. Two
Come
games,
on,
two
Chief. It's
continuous throws. First game Dynasty winning and they end up throwing to TGT. Second game TGT was winning and they end up throwing to Dynasty. It's going back and forth, back and forth. What's going to be happening in the third game? I don't even really care
the
about the
third team
numbers
is
at this
gonna be
point.
Chief. It's gonna be close, Chief. We see a lot of damage coming out from Akali on this game. She did a lot, Chief. You saw her; she carried fights for the red team, and is probably one of the major reasons why they won the game. And she gets 19k on on the champion. Meanwhile, we see J4 with 15k damage. That's kind of surprising because I thought he'd be more of a frontliner than a damage dealer.
Jarvan, J4. Okay, yeah, he has 15k damage. Okay, that's nearly as much as what the Tristana did. Even more than what the Tristana could.
Yeah,
This
that is actually surprising.
but I don't know. Just fuck the numbers and let's just get into the third game because I really want to be seeing the third game right now because I can't really wait. Because
Oh
this
yeah,
series
let's just get on the lobby and make these guys draft quick.
and guys, I want to say it, but just ban Akali. TGT should just ban Akali.
Yeah, Kali has been
When
pretty
in war,
troublesome for
I
the
think
past two games.
they should just ban Akali at this point. For especially first game Akali was destroying TGT. Second game Akali was destroying TGT again. They should be just banning the Akali this time. Not going for the bans like the sixth ban. Of course. Uh,
Alright.
can we just get something in the
Let
lobby?
me invite you, Chief. Okay, you're already in already in it?
No, I'm not there. Please invite me.
And here you go.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, Chief. Now, what are the bans you expect in Game 3? Because we saw two games which were close and both the games were turned around completely. What do you expect in Game 3?
I'm having lag right now. That's a lag issue on the part of DNY Dynasty has no escape. Well, I
Nah,
don't
nah.
really don't think. I really
I
don't think
think
it
he's
is a
just
mechanic.
joking. He's
Oh,
joking,
but
he's
let's see.
joking. He said I'm having in real brain lag.
I don't know. Oh, the
Okay,
bans now will come out. It's just going to be the usual bans like what happened in the first two
it's
games, the
gonna
Galio and the
be the
Wukong. It's the
Galio and
usual ban.
Wukong. So they're gonna go for the usual bans again. So we can pretty much expect another Brom ban. And what else was banned, Chief?
Well, Irie ban. I mean, I don't think the Irie ban is going to be coming out because I did play well from having a proper on
Yeah,
point
but
jump.
She did miss a lot of charms, but she did good, Chief.
But I know at this point, I just want to be seeing the Akali ban because the Akali has been
Yeah,
playing so good.
and Akali ban at this point would be really good because Ari did do good, but I don't think it was worth a ban. So I'd rather take out the Akali, who's been the reason why you've been losing.
Okay, the third ban also can be a pretty usual ban. The same ban after the first two games, the Renekton ban coming out again. I don't know. I really want to be seeing some new picks, new comps coming out because I really want to be seeing a Camille. I really want to be seeing
Yeah,
I really
I
want to
really
be
want to see. I mean,
seeing
it's a
Rolla.
best of five, Chief. We don't want to see one trick ponies. We want to see different things. We want to see different calls. We want to see different kind of gameplays. Just seeing one of the
And
same
that it is.
is not great.
And that it is. The Akali ban is going to be coming out. It was pretty imminent. And yes, TGT does stand. No, they know the Akali is just too much. The Akali is just going to be too OP for me. I really can't handle Akali in a team fight. So they're just like, come, let's ban the Akali. The
That was
Akali
a
ban
smart
is
ban.
coming out.
We knew it was gonna come, and it was done. The Akali has been taken out. Now I want to see what Dynasty has planned to cover for this.
I think Dynasty just going to go into the usual comp again because they have been going for the J4 in the first two games. I do feel the J4 is going to be coming out in the jungle position in the third game as well.
I mean, I hope I could see a different pick, but if they're comfortable with the J4 pick, they should go for a J4 Chief. It's like they say, comfort pick over metas any day.
Uh, uh, I don't know, man. Of course, comfort picks are always better than the meta picks, but spamming the J4 continuously in the first two games, because at some points it even becomes kind of repetitive. Even the opponents kind of know how we are going to be playing when they're going to be ulting. How they will know how to escape, right?
Yeah, it kind of you get used to it, Chief. If you play 3 games back to back with the same guy on the same hero, you kind of like start learning his moves. You just tell the enemy that this is how I play. Watch me, learn me, and just counter me.
And why am I seeing so much? I don't know, Chief X Kuro in the live chat. All of you are gay, and let me just remind you, Pride Month. It's been like almost 10 days since Pride Month is over, so there's no point, telling Chief X Kuro in the live chat.
I mean, Chief, you did have your first qualifier match today. How did that go? I heard you and Kuro had a great time on lane.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would say Kuro and Yone did hard carry, especially on Sakali. Also, okay, let's not just talk about that. Let's talk about the current
Okay,
game.
we see an Ari ban coming out from Bishi. It's a Gragas. There's a Gragas ban by Dynasty and an Ari by Bishi.
Yeah,
Okay,
both teams
Chief,
are
you
kind
want
of
to do
ready.
the honors?
I think both the teams are ready. I think we are good to go for the third game. Okay, let me just tell. Are you gonna be? Which side are you supporting in this game?
Me, Chief. Okay, I mean, let's do this after the draft. I want to see the draft before I decide that.
Yeah, Parker. I think both the teams are ready, and we can start with the game.
Okay, we didn't get the ready from Dynasty yet.
Okay, I think Dynasty is
Okay,
okay.
yeah,
Dynasty are
Dynasty gives a
ready for this
go,
game.
and that's signal.
Man, since Dynasty Virginia, yes, yeah,
Okay,
picks
and
as well.
it's the J4 pick again. You called it, Chief, and it happened. Oh, meanwhile, we see the Brom pick which was left open. The Brom and the Ziggs. The Brom and the Ziggs has been given to TGT. Is this gonna be a bad draft for Dynasty, or do they have a plan?
I really forgot about the Brom. Amid all the confusion in the in the bans, with the Akali ban coming out, all these new bans coming out, I really forgot that the Brom wasn't banned.
It's not just the Brom, Steve, it's Ziggs too. They gave away 2 priority picks to the red team. Will they make it up or will they pay for it? Is this a mistake or is this a plan, Chief? I don't know anymore.
Man, it has to be a mistake. Not banning out the Brom is actually kind of brain-dead in the Indian lobby, especially. Not banning Brom, I don't know, it's just kind of stupid.
Meanwhile, we see another Pantheon jungle game, maybe. Okay, no, we see a Ramos coming out. Age. Okay, it's real
Well,
quick.
Speed is going to be going
Let's
in for
see
the
what
Ramos pick. They had a lucky win in the first game. I would not lie because the Ramos wasn't really kind of significant in the first game. It was all the things. Sorry, it was all the zigs and a real. But let's see what Siege can play.
But this time was a Brom Chief. It's a total game. Ramos along with the this might turn things around for a Darius pick coming up again.
What's the okay? It's gonna be Diana pick coming out by Dynasty. Diana, I really want to see some proper top class Diana gameplay because Diana is one of my favorite mid laners. I am a sim for Diana. I just tell it outright. I'm a sim for Diana. So I really want Diana to win this one because no, make it more controversial this game. Dynasty going in 3-1.
I mean, Dan one of the best jams out there on the and he can do a lot with team fights.
Let's see what Dynasty can make out in this game, especially like Jarvan been performing in the first two games. Let's see how Jarvan is going to be performing in the third game. But this is going to be quite an equal matchup because I would just say it's going to be a support difference. A Braum versus a Rakan. Come on, everyone would choose a Braum. What's a Rakan compared to a Braum? A six-pack
I
man.
mean, I
I'll
would
go with
not
Chief.
say that, Chief.
I'll
Brom
just
is
look at
good
his
in team fights, but
Rakan.
he's nah, Chief. Brom is weak in laning phase. Unless or until you and your ADC go really aggressive and get an early trade and back out and chill, there's no way you're winning lane because it's easy to dodge. It's slow and the minions just block your skills. The ADC can just chill behind the minions unless until they're smart.
Also, look at the Braum just going trying to play aggressive. Like, what is the new strategy coming out by what do you call by TGT? The support roaming with the Baron lane. This is exactly what they did in the second game as well.
I mean, the Braum was probably there just to help leash for the jungle. Now we see him rotating bot. I don't know if it was worth rotating. Maybe they were expecting an invade. Okay, now Braum just walks in. He's gonna pop the flare up, which is gonna expose the enemy jungle's location. Yep, Dynasty's jungle has been spotted on the map, which gives TGT enough information on the map. We see the laning phase being a bit slow. There's not a lot of fights going on in any of the lanes. Both the laners just trading minions at this point.
Well, I don't know, man. Just looking at this, both the lanes
Okay,
are
we
just
see a
obviously
fight
just
going on
being
up
one
at
minute.
top. Fiora getting really low. Bishi has 5 of his stacks, but both of them might have to go back for their health orbs.
I really don't know what to love about this game because I think Fiora versus Darius was a pretty even matchup in the last game. Darius was kind of winning the lane against
Okay,
Fiora.
there is a
Also,
fight going on top lane. Okay, Bishi gets a hook back in. Will this be an easy kill for him? No, but the Fiora is forced to flash out. I mean, at this point, Darius is winning the matchup. We see Fiora being forced back to lane. This can actually deny a lot of minions if he decides to push all the way in at this point.
also, I really
Okay, we
forgot to
see
mention what are your thoughts on Senna and Houston? All of these champions just came out today, and people have been spamming these champions in rank. What are your thoughts on Senna and Houston?
I
Which one do you
being a
prefer?
support main, I've actually obviously taken Senna first. I just bought her in the morning today. I actually play like 5 or 6 games on her, and like she's really fun. She reminds me of Kha'Zix from AOV because like you just roam around the map with the utility, and it's like you have an annoying W which can stun 2 or 3 people or even 5 if you land it right. You have a global ult which gives you shield. It's pretty fun to play, Chief. You should actually try playing the champion out.
I am going to be so
And
spamming Senna tonight. Let's look at the Brom trying to stack up on. Sorry, the Brom is trying to
okay, we
stack up on
see
the.
Rakan jumping in, but Rom actually being quick and puts a stack back on Rakan. This is actually good by Rom. He has good reaction speed, Chief.
Also, guys, people who are watching the live stream right now, what are your thoughts on the new champions? Are you going to be preferring to play Senna or are you going to be preferring to go Lucian, supporting the niggas, Black Lives Matter, all those shit?
Chief, that was racist, Chief. You could get banned for that.
You have to be
Okay,
racist.
meanwhile we see a fight near the dragon pit, but they force out the zigzag right before the dragon spawns. There are 45 seconds until the dragon spawn. This might actually be good for the blue team because they did not have to blow out any of the skills.
Uh, I actually didn't see what actually quite happened over there because I was just looking at the Kali versus the Fiora in the top. Sorry, the Fiora versus
The
Darius in the
Fiora
top
versus
lane.
Darius. I'm both of them are full HP. I don't think they both. I don't think either of them had have decided to rotate for the dragon fight yet. Okay, we see a fight happening. There are a few pokes. Fiora just pokes Darius and backs out. That's how a Fiora is supposed to play. Okay, meanwhile, we see the blue team getting a bit of visual priority on the blue lane. They might go for a camp. Okay, they jump on a Zig. They get a charm on him. Rakan actually uses his ult. Is it worth it? I don't think so. Maybe they fucked up.
It
Okay, the
wasn't
red
actually
team
worth it.
actually.
The
Yeah, it was not worth it. The knockup was enough for a poke, but he actually blew his ult out over there.
I would say
This
that was
wave
kind
is
of
good, sir.
hasty by the side of the Rakan, trying to secure the kill on Ziggs, especially if you're not able to be committing it. Like if you're
I
not
mean,
able to
the
commit
idea
on
was
the
good,
Rakan,
Chief.
you really shouldn't be going in.
I mean, the idea was good, but what the red team must have did was they should have let the Ziggs come in a bit more deep. I think they went in a bit too early. He was still under his tower, and which gave him ample of time to escape. Chief, come on, Chief. Anyone can escape from that distance. They should have waited him. They just have waited until he was more closer to the bush.
And guys, I'm really sorry for using the N word very casually. I'm really sorry for that. I won't be able to. I won't be able to say that. I won't be saying that. So really sorry for
I,
using the N word.
I mean, it's good that you're sorry, but I don't think none of our viewers are. What's a proper word for it?
Really?
Okay, meanwhile, we see a trade happening up at top. The blue team gets the first turret. Meanwhile, we see TGT going in for the bottom turret. Okay, they actually get an out. The Ziggs ult. Fiora dodges it and heads back. Meanwhile, two of TGT's member gets wiped out by the tower. Okay, we
I'm
meanwhile see Dynasty pushing top tier 2. Darius is all alone to defend this. Will he be able to defend this? Yeah, he does. There's another min wave crashing in, but the blue team decides to back out at this point. We see a Braum coming back for backup, but the blue team has decided to push in the mid wave. Will they actually pressure the mid turret or will they go for the rift?
I don't know, but can they really go for it? Because Ramos is just going to be rolling in, just having a proper creator impact over that. If the Braum follows that up, I mean, Braum and
The blue team should actually not go for it because they're giving them a free target right now. And yep, that's a proper follow up by the red team. Okay, but this is actually weird. BC has chance for free resets, and no, he misses all of it. The red team actually lose their ADC. Meanwhile, the blue team, all of them get out safe, and Fiora actually managed to push the bottom wave in, so that's gonna force them to rotate. She can actually rotate mid and maybe force a play out on the Ziggs at this point.
the Fiora was split pushing all this. So I don't know if Fiora is going to be quite ahead of the that. I mean, that's exactly what Fiora is supposed to do, right? Split push till the enemy is forced to respond to you.
Yeah, Fiora is really good in 1v1s, and at this point, she can even 1v2 in lane, maybe by delay time. She is a really versatile champion and it's fun to play, Chief.
I mean, that's exactly why the Fiora difference. That's why the Dynasty is also quite ahead in the goal as well. 2K goal difference in the favor of Dynasty, and also look at the way
Okay, the
the
Rakan
aggressive
actually
game they
engages
done.
on BC, but the first quill. Okay, the blue team just gets an incredible pick off at this point. There are no objectives to contest on the map, but they can pressure the mid tower.
Exactly what they're trying to do. All four of them, all five of them actually trying to pressure in the mid lane.
Okay, we
Rakan is
see
going to
a
go in
Rak.
for top
Okay,
one and
that
knock.
is a great engage by Rakan at this point. He dashes out to safety. Does he get out of live? Yeah, yes, he does. He gets out of it alive. Meanwhile, the blue team just gets the first down. Meanwhile, we see Brom with a flash ult. That was probably the most sad ult in this game.
I think
He
that was
flashes in
nothing
that.
really
I
you
think that
could
was a
do.
move out of frustration, Chief. He's just frustrated that the blue team got ahead, and he probably miscalculated that big time because that did not go as planned.
Especially now that the Dragons coming up with Braum not having his ulti, it's going to be kind of a lot of different. Going to be making a lot of difference in the team fight. Braum not having his ulti for a team fight, Ramus not having his ulti for a team fight, Ziggs not having his ulti for a team fight, but all of the people on the blue side, the Diana having his ulti, the Daron having an ulti, and the
I
whole time
mean,
Fiora is going to be split pushing top. So I would say, Dynasty is going to be having an edge over this Dragon fight.
but if you look at the item sheet, most of them have completed the tier 2. Okay, that's a fight going out on bot. The Diana ult provides a good disengage for the team. Meanwhile, you see an Ezreal ult. Okay, J4 goes in, but they probably have to back out at this point because both the teams have just traded their health bars and probably going to recall because Fiora is pressing top. Like he said, Chief, she gets the tier 2 tower. Now pressures the red team to recall and disengage. Meanwhile, the blue team gets a free dragon at bot. Okay, no, the red team have decided that they want to contest for this. The Ram is actually going back with his ult. Who wins the smite battle? Will it be the red team? But yes, the red team steals the dragon and they also get the cleanup on the fight. We see a Darius actually finding Fiora at mid. She almost dies. Will she actually burn to death? But no, she gets the health up. But TGT will get the middle tower. Maybe they'll get two towers for this play. Okay, we see the Diana who's already up. She's walking back to lane, so this is probably going to stop the push. The TGT decides to reset. Meanwhile, Ziggs pushing bot at the same time. He's going to get another tower, and this play was totally worth it for the team. They did lose a tier 2 on top, but they managed to get some towers around the map.
Oh man, I really want to be telling this at this point, man. Come on, you are quite ahead in this game. You are supposed to be forcing fights, and not split pushing. Dynasty is doing the complete and exact opposite. They are kind of throwing it like this is what happened in the first game as well, right? They are ahead in the quite ahead, and now they're starting to throw.
I mean, Dynasty does not have the team fight comp that TGT has because TGT they just have a Braum, Ramos, and a Zigzag for team fight. So what Dynasty is trying to do is they're trying to split them up and play based on their strength, which is actually a great thing to do at this point, because not a lot of teams play on this strength, Chief. They all try to play a game which is not suitable for their comp.
And also, like this team fight and the Baron lane for the team fight for the Baron, it's really going to be quite decisive because it's a proper 5 versus 4 fight for Dynasty, and they should be looking for taking forcing on this fight because they know they have the vision that Bishi is in the bottom lane, so they should be just stopping the Baron or maybe just forcing a fight.
They should actually like maybe end for a Baron and back out as soon as they come in, because if BC decides to recall and use his teleport in, as you can see, he has a teleport ready. He can join the fight at any second, Chief. So maybe they just try to bait the teleport out.
And also, guys, if you're new to the stream, make sure to like the stream because there are hundreds of you watching and only
Okay, we
five
see
likes
a we see
coming
a
in.
engaged by Rakan. He jumps in, he gets a flash on four people, but he dies for it. We see the red team actually jumping in. The blue team gets the Baron Nashor, but there seems to be no point at this as all of them get wiped out. Tristana running back to base with 1 HP. This was probably not the best of decisions to go for Baron at this point, but it is the first dragon. They will not be able to end the game.
I mean, even
We
though they managed to secure the Baron, but was it even worth it? Completely losing
It's
the
not
fight.
worth it.
Jarvan didn't even have a good ulti in that fight, and the complete dominance shown by the Ramas having a proper knockups on the Diana, having proper knockups on the Khan. I mean,
I mean, the blue
I
team just
would say like
decided to go for the Baron too early, Chief. It was not time for the Baron. They probably should have waited it out a bit more before starting it, but they make a mistake and they pay for it.
no man, but seriously, the way he is playing the Ramas is actually going to be changing my mind on Ramas. I really thought Ramas was a fast pick, not really worth being picked at all. One of the most useless junglers, but the way this guy is playing, I have to change my mind.
I mean, C is a smart player, Chief. We know that, you know that, I know that, and he is showing us why.
I really don't want them to throw. I really hope the fourth game is a throw as well, so that we have a proper 2-2 series. Because the way
Oh
it's
my
looking right
god,
now, it's
Chief.
probably going to be PGT, getting winning seat this game.
Chief, my phone's at 7%. You're killing me, but I definitely would love to see a game. If I'm probably gonna charge my phone and watch the game at the same time. I really would love for a game five at this point, Chief. It's a semi-finals of a tournament. It's definitely worth it.
I would suggest you go and charge a phone because I'm pretty sure this is going to be we are in for a long time here because the the way both the teams are they're passionately throwing the game. It's just absolutely amazing. I love the passion.
It's like there is no sure winner at this point, Chief. It's anyone's game. Rakan actually looking in for an engage, but they're just charging in blindly. They're eating all their ults. They do not care about that. All the damage that's being done to them. The blue team still managed to stay strong. Okay, all of them are low at the red team. They're two full HPs on the blue team. Will the Diana and the Fiora manage to get a clean up, but oh, the red team coming out strong. They have a stack on the champion, but no, it fades away. Ezreal jumps in, but will Diana actually be able to do something? And that's it. We see Azanias being popped by the red team, but they will manage to get another tower or two from this trade.
Well, I would say
Meanwhile,
kind of that the Diana, like, she's quite behind like compared to Ziggs and her ulti. Even though she had a proper three-man
meanwhile, we
ulti, three four
see a
man
free
ulti.
tower at bottom lane, Chief. The minions is doing their job by pushing this lane out.
I mean, they really should. I don't know. TGT should have just started the Drake as soon as they got the proper shutdowns and all three of them. But they they're just gonna be
No,
too late for
Chief.
starting Drake and Dynasty just gonna be spawning back and just having
I
full
think it was
HP and the Jigs
actually a
completely
good
missing
call
everyone.
to wait.
They might be doing this game. They can't doing a proper 3-4 man engage. Is the even the Ramos is gonna be getting the dragon, but it's gonna be a fight lost for them. TGT is not gonna be able to come back from this. The ulti coming in on Grom, ulti coming in on BC as well. And are they gonna be having a throw? My God, they're throwing both these teams.
Oh my god, we see the blue team with a comeback at this point. TGT might have actually started the dragon a bit too late. The blue team being there right on time to punish that mistake, and now we probably will see the bottom tier 2 tower push. And there's nothing else
But
the
I
blue
would
team can
say that
capitalize with that.
it would have been even worse for TGT if Bishi hadn't got those two lucky kills on the
Yeah, if BC did not secure those kills, we probably would have seen them contest at least one plate on the tier 1 tower before they backed out. Or maybe even we could have seen a Baron at this point.
But these teams are just throwing, man. All of these games, like, this game is almost 15 minutes right now, and it's going to be stretching for even more 5 or 10 minutes. It's going to be a 25-minute bumper of a game.
Do have a lot of long games these days, Chief. I don't know why. Maybe it's jinxed. Okay, we see a skirmish near the scuttle at top. The Barons here. This is gonna be an important scuttle because it's gonna provide vision to whoever gains it on the most major objective on the map for the next 10 minutes.
I mean, I really want to see them. I really do hope the Fiora is going to be banned the next game. I think I have an intuition. If you
I mean, this Fiora is pretty much annoying, Chief. She's doing so much for the team. She's annoying this Darius on the lane. But it's an even matchup, Chief. Both these teams are going head to head, toe to toe, nail to nail. They're not showing any signs of backing out at this point.
especially like I really only seeing the Diana getting the MVP. Diana already with a KD of 5 having the Infinity Orb, having the Liandry's. I do think it's going to be maybe a Diana difference in this game. Unless, of
Uh,
course, the SPL has a dash. I really want to see the Diana shine in this game.
I mean, the blue team's ADC is not doing all that great on the KDA, but I mean, he's doing good DPS in fight, so it's pretty much fine.
Look, at this point, I'm not going to be saying the better team is going to be winning. I'm just going to be saying the throwing team is going to be losing. That's all I'm going to be telling.
I mean, we've seen a lot of mistakes happening, Chief. It's not been a clean game, but uh, it's actually even at this point. It's dead even. There's just a 2k gold difference, but the only difference is the jungle difference right now, which is gonna hit the blue team hard at late game.
Oh, I mean, really? Do you really feel like it's going to be a jungle difference? Because Jarvan is going to be absolute, very, very tanky. Like, if you just look at this Jarvan spell,
I
so
mean,
going for
right
the
now I'm just
Sunspires.
talking about the difference in drakes. If the red team has all three drakes, and they only have to contend for the Elder Dragon, which is gonna spawn next. But meanwhile,
But
we
at this point,
see
I
the
don't
blue
know.
team pressuring bottom lane, but they will get flanked by the red team. Is they have they actually dove in too deep? Diana
Is
actually
this going to
marks
be the
them, but
throw?
they're in too deep. Okay, Rakan actually goes in, but this is he's gonna die. BC has no ult. He does not get any reset for it.
Ah,
The blue team gets out with just giving away one kill. They should just back out at this point. Maybe ward the Baron and just try in for a last minute steal. Okay, we see
but
the
again,
red
you
team
see that
starting
Dynasty
Baron.
had a very unnecessary throw that. And Fiora and Diana still look very keen to split position, trying to take that Dragon Tower. But at this point, same
Okay,
point. I mean,
meanwhile, they're just planning to probably delay with J4 while they take the tower, but I don't think that's the best of plans as J4 is gonna get wrecked while the blue team has to back out with just a 3-man advantage. If they had actually like recalled at the start and went to the Baron without wasting time, they
I mean, is it
even
Jarvan
if
going to
the
be
red team,
escaping? Because did you see that Jarvan escaped the team fight? Just trying to, he had a maybe pretty good ulti, going in with the flashes and all. But
yeah, he didn't manage to escape, Chief. Chavan is a sneaky jungler. Meanwhile, we see the red team actually going for Elder Dragon. They seem to waste no time at this point. They're like, we don't need anything else. We're just gonna take the Elder Drake. We're not gonna wait for you guys. End the game with the buff. Meanwhile, we see Diana go jumping in, but the red team gets a smite in. They get the dragon. We see Diana falling down. J4 gets away at 1 HP. Again, he gets out alive, but I don't see any point as the red team are gonna march down to victory on the mid lane. They have the Baron buff, they have minions on top lane. They should just look forward to push the side lanes at this point. But we'll see, is this gonna be GG or will the blue team manage to defend it? They have another 30 seconds on two of them to respawn, but we see a Rakan engage. Okay, this is
at
done,
this point,
Chief.
the game
It's
is
pretty
pretty
much
much over.
done.
I don't think there's going
It's
to be any more
done.
throws coming out by TGT.
There's no coming back from this, Chief.
Well, I would say, Dynasty kind of threw this game. They were winning, then they were losing, then again they were winning, but they decided to throw that. Going in for the Tyrone Tower, all five of them, but without the Jarvan, you got absolutely nothing with the Jarvan because when there are comms like Rakan, Jarvan, Fiora, you need to have someone to tank the front line, right? If you don't have Jarvan, you don't take a fight. That's exactly what they didn't do.
It was like you said, Chief. It through at the end, overextended at the end, which gave them which opened for a free flank, Chief. Easy flank. Any team when they could have taken that.
Also, look at damage numbers again. This time the damage numbers are pretty juicy. Snowy coming in with 35k damage on Jax and also the profit. I mean, not that far behind. 25k on Asriel as well. Just look at the. Oh my god, just look at the Rakan spell. Look at the Rakan build. Imagine going Rod of Ages on a Rakan because people don't go Rod of Ages on Rakan, but No Escape has decided to build Rod of Ages on Rakan. I don't know what's going to be happening. I'm really excited for the fourth game. Let's see what's going to be happening in the fourth game because if the throws continue, I mean, four games, four throws, a game of throws. Let's see what's going to be happening because right now it's a 2-1 and TGT just need one more win. TGT just need one more win to secure the series. Play against the Band of Fox in the finals tomorrow. But let's see
I
what
mean,
Dynasty has in store for them.
well, Chief, this is an interesting series, but we did see Dynasty put up great fight at the start, so we might see them do it again. We never know what's gonna happen. Maybe this is gonna go for a game by, or maybe TGT is gonna start at the series 3-1. So, what do you think, Chief? What's it gonna be?
I don't know. Again, going to be saying if. Okay, I'm not really going to be telling it towards the draft because its draft is not really. No. Can you please invite me to the lobby?
Yeah, hold on, Chief. I'm doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm online.
O- Okay, we see a Fiora ban coming out this time. Like you said, the Dynasty seems to be taking out the Fiora.
Well, it is going to be a V first ban now. Okay, so that seems to be a confusion of the ban because uh,
Yeah, maybe there
Dynasty
is
just
a
went
small
in for
confusion between players.
Chalo, let's see what's going to be happening because I really want to be seeing a game 5 because 2-2 is just the most juiciest of all controversies you can ever have. Going in with the
Oh my
semi-finals.
god, Chief. A game 5 on semis is actually amazing. Just imagine what the finals would be like. But that is Band of the Hawks, one of the best teams on the server right now. So it would be fun to watch, Chief, no matter who makes it out. If it's TGT versus Band of the Hawks or if it's Dynasty. Both are gonna be a very fun matchup and both will be as interesting as the one we're watching right now.
I really hope that this game doesn't go like 20 minutes, 25 minutes like the first two games, first three games actually. So
Oh
all
yeah,
of the
every
first three
game has
games.
been close, Chief. All these games have been close. It shows that both these teams are on an equal level and it's an even matchup. It's anyone's game at this point. No one can actually predict what's gonna happen at any point.
Oh man, come on. Dynasty has finally learned from the last game. They come up with the Brom first ban. But it had to happen. Brom is just too
Yeah,
broken to be not banned.
I mean they actually did do a mistake by leaving two broken picks just given out to them,
Sorry.
and they learn from their mistakes, Chief. You don't learn until you fall.
And also, like Bishi, I'm very adamant on going for the Akali ban because he knows how good Akali played and he doesn't want to face Akali on lane again. So Akali's ban going to
It's
be
like,
taken out by TGT.
I mean, Chief, all these teams have just played three games against each other's. Both the players by now would have got a feeling about how the other team functions, how the team bands work, how their players work, what are their strengths. So after game three, you're gonna see all the bands are gonna be mature, and none of the bands will be wasted at any point. It's how best of fives function, and it is pretty fun to watch a 5 game series.
Let's see, and now that all of these bans have come out. So talking about the picks, I think it's going to be maybe a pretty usual picks. The Jarvan pick coming out by Vegeta and the Darius pick coming out by Vishay.
I mean, I want to see Vegeta play a different jungle, Chief, because Javan on all 4 games. Come on, Chief. You gotta do something interesting. I want to see a little bit of variety on the games too.
Mm, actually I don't want to be seeing the Ramas again because TGT TGT has been running this comp. It's actually really working well for them. The six and the Ramas, all of these ultis are really syncing up together, right? Ramas going
Yeah,
in, rolling in, then
TGT.
it's going to be jumping on all four of them and just solving up its ulti. It's going to be doing too much AoE damage as well as slowing them for the STL to come and dish out the damage.
I mean, the TGT are just lining their routes with these team fight combos. They're making good use of their ults, unlike the Galio pick, which we saw, which wasted a few ults. So yeah, this is pretty interesting, and I hope that they are forced to play another strategy. Maybe the draft could do that for them, but we'll see how the draft goes.
And guys, if you're new to the stream, like if you guys didn't know the score is right now 1, Dynasty 1, and TGT leading with the 2-1. So it's gonna be do or die for Dynasty in this game because if they lose this game, they're out of the series, they're out of the tournament. And TGT is going to be advancing to the finals versus the Fox. But let's see what Dynasty is going to be up to at this game.
I mean, yes, Steve, lots of pressure on the team. The momentum right now is with TGT, and we gotta see how Dynasty copes up with this.
Well, Dynasty has to make something happen. They just know how to throw this game, and they are just going to be winning this game. Obviously going to be Bishi in the first pick, and he's going to be going in for this signature
It
Fiora.
wasn't Fiora banned.
I think Fiora was, but I'm not really sure because I really forgot the bans because we have not been focusing much on the bans. But let's just sum up the bans. There was, I think, Wukong ban, Six ban, Galio ban again.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll just see how this turns out. Because if there is a misband, the players will restart.
I'm not really sure about the rules, but I think we are messing up with the DPH. I think Fiora wasn't banned, and instead of the Fiora, it was Renekton ban coming in. I'm not really sure. I'm really sorry because we have been, even we are kind of high. And what is this?
Steve, I am kind of.
Why is this Turakan being hovered over?
Okay, Chief. So we see a TF pick coming out from the red team. A TF is actually a really interesting pick because it is really strong, and his ultimate probably just secures you a free kill on the map. He can just jump on the Baron lane as soon as he hits level 5, or jump on wherever on the map where he desires. Okay, we see a Ramos pick coming out again by Siege. Chief, what are your thoughts on seeing the same jungler for 3 games and 4 games?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of really bored of this comp because seeing Ramos and his Dix comp, but I'm really happy the Six was banned this game because the Ramos Dix was just kind of too annoying, kind of too repetitive. There's a fresh perspective in this game, seeing the
I
Ramos
mean,
paired up with the Diana.
we see we see TGT coming out with Rakan this time while okay we see a Gragas pick. Okay, at this point, I mean I would want to go for the blue team's comp, but I feel the red team can probably do something different with the TF on the mid lane. Like I said, his global ult, so I would actually be interested on the way they rotate on this game.
But it's all going to be based on rotation for at least for TGT because when you pick something jungler like Ramos, you need to play around him. You need to play around on his calls, play around on his rotations. But when you play something like a Darwin, you know the team is going to be following up because the Darwin's ulti, you can visually see the ulti.
Yes, Chief. Javan is bit easier to work with, but Ramos does demand your team to pay a bit more attention to yourself.
Also, this is going to be the first game, but the first game of the series for Prophet is not on his Aphelion. The still was being picked up by Vaibhav. So let's see how Prophet is able to perform on his Tristana because Tristana was picked in one of the game.
Tristana was pick on one of the game, but I don't know if it was Prophet who played it.
Okay, let's see what because the Gragas is not been banned like over the 3 games which had Gragas was the single most Gragas and Wukong was the champion which are always banned every single time. So seeing the Gragas versus Fiora, it could be something new, right?
Okay, we
Because
see a
most of
Ramos
these
probably
games,
running into the red team at this point. The red team knows that they're camping, but will the blue team fall for it? And no. We see a ward in the tri bush. Meanwhile, Fiora pokes in Gragas a bit, and there is a lane matchup where this is fighting for the creeps at mid. Okay, TF walking in for poke, but Diana doing a good job staying out of range, but she gets bullied out of range. She will be denied experience points at this point, and we see the support coming in and popping out the flare. It's gonna expose the jungler who's doing the red buff at this point, and there is not a lot of priority on mid lane. Meanwhile, we see the bottom lane where they go in aggressive for the Ezreal, but Ezreal does a smart thing by backing off. He just gets back to farming on his lane at this point. The TF who's doing a great job at denying a lot of farm for this Diana. He's already almost hitting his level 3. Meanwhile, Diana just hits his level 2. He is already outpoked on the lane. TF doing a really great job on lane at this point. Diana is not able to do much. Meanwhile, we see a J4 who's right behind the TF. Will he come in for a gank? This Diana has already used the health out. Meanwhile, TF hasn't even touched this yet. We see the cannon minion. Okay, Diana goes in for the minion wave. TF tries to poke, but there is a shield which stops all the damage coming in.
and I would say the
Okay,
Diana, the Twisted Fate is kind of playing very smart in this point because you're trying to poke out the Diana, trying to deny all the farm
okay.
cover, but
We see a fight at Scuttle Lane, Chief.
I mean, the scuttles, I don't know. It's going to be even trade between the scuttle, Jarun getting top scuttle, Ramas getting scuttle. So they're pretty even trade. But now the Ramas is going to be going in for the Twisted Fate. Is he going to be able to secure the kill on Twisted Fate? Yes, it's going to be a successful gang getting the kill on Twisted Fate.
Meanwhile, we
Getting the
see a
first.
gank on top. Okay, Fiora just walks out of that.
That was really what a great options coming out by Ramas going in because Diana is fighting the Twisted Fate in lane. And if I go in at the right time, I will be able to secure the kill and perfect execution by the Rams as well.
I mean, the Diana is pretty much really thankful for the Ramas at this point because Twisted Fate was bullying her in lane pretty hard, Chief. Twisted Fate was owning Diana in that matchup, and that gank would have probably helped her a lot.
What's talking about the bottom? We are seeing the Leona and Azrael kind of pulling the Tristana. But if you had seen the fight over there, Leona having a
Meanwhile, we
proper Zenith
see
lane.
that jungler coming in for a back bush ambush. He's waiting in the bush. The blue team doesn't know he's there. Okay, he walks in, He is being exposed on the map with the minions out there. The blue team now knows the jungler and they will probably play safe. J4 still walks in. Will he actually dive the start with the main wave, which is not a good idea because this can probably be three easy kills as we see the Diana and the Rammers coming in. They're probably going to sandwich them. We see a TF ult that's going to explode the blue team's location. We see a TF popping in. The jungler goes in. We see the Rammers ult. Okay, Chief, right now the red team should not fight on the turret. They probably did dive into team. Okay, the Ram is being poked out. The Diana almost full HP, but the red team will manage to make it out. It's a 1-for-1 trade on both sides.
And I would say that was a very perfect execution from the Dynasty. Jarvan going in, Twisted Fate going in with the gold card, and the perfect Astral ulti following up and cleaning up this drama. I mean, this
Yes,
level
Steve,
of
that is
execution.
this is actually a pretty good level of execution. It's not every day you see games like these.
No, but usually what happens is that when you use all of your ultimates before the dragon fight, you really don't have anything for the dragon fight. And this is what I think TGT can have a edge over Dynasty because they don't have it. TGT has all the ultimates while Dynasty doesn't have any of the ultimates. The Jarvan ulti being used up, the Twisted Fate ulti being used up, still ulti being used up. So TGT
So
should force
TGT
out the
does
fight.
have a better edge on this fight. Meanwhile, we see there's an Infernal Drake that's spawning. They do pop the flare up. All the wards are exposed. TGT will probably take their own time on heading towards the pit as they see Dynasty is in a better position to contest this. They clear the ward in the pit. They try to bait TGT inside. Ramos walks in. He sees J4 outside the pit, so he doesn't go in. He knows the dragon is not being contested with the jungler far away. Now the red team is actually starting to focus dragon. They disturb the dragon now, so it's probably going to buy them a few more seconds. They go back to the jungle to take the crown power. Will the blue team start the dragon at this point? We see the Ramos going in the pit. There is a ward. He is trying to clear that out. Rakan's here. The entire blue team has lined up. They disturb the dragon again. Both teams at this point are not going in for an objective. They head back to the lane. Blue team is pushing both the lanes in. The Dynasty decides to go back in. They decide they want to do this dragon now. This probably gives them a great. They're just getting sandwiched at this point, Chief. There's Diana ult coming in. There's Ramos who's actually charging his ult up. Okay, Ramos goes in. He actually just lands it on this. Okay, Diana gets a proper 5-man ult in. The blue team pretty much wiping the red team out. Fiera goes in for the cleanup. Gragas, who is pretty much stuck alone, can't do a lot. He has the pose of flash out. He dashes out, and he gets out of there alive. But at what cost, Chief? They lose 4, and they also lose the dragon. The blue team is also gonna pressure the mid tower at this point, and they will get it.
Oh man, actually, you know what? At this point, it's not going to be a throw game because I don't think TGT is going to be throwing this game because they know how cumbersome this game is. Twisted Fiddle, he's going to be coming out. Is he going to be able to secure a kill? Yes, he is going to be going between three man, but his gold card doesn't land on anyone. My god.
This
If maybe at least if he had landed the gold card on someone, he didn't even have the ability on the. They could have got a
Meanwhile, we
proper
see
2 3 man
Rakan
secured.
going back in just to disturb that wave so they don't get a lot of damage on that tower. The blue team just playing smarter and better than the red team at this point. The blue team was just forced to recall, so the red team can go in for a free rift if they actually hurry it up.
If they are going to be able to burst on the rift, a rift trade for an infernal rake is not really actually worth it because you can always push out towers, but you can never get the infernal rake again in the game.
I mean, the Infernal Drake, the blue team could have traded better over there, but it was just a bad fight for them, which did turn the tables round and gave the blue team a 3k goal lead at this point. 3k goal lead in just a 7-minute mark is pretty huge, Chief. What do you think about this? You think Dynasty's got any chance at coming back?
Well, I would say Dynasty doesn't have. I really don't know because at this point, when the Diana is kind of fed, Diana already being a 005, having a good amount of gold, and Twisted Fate actually being very squishy, the Leona being squishy, and just look at this. That's what I was telling you. Like the Diana just going to be melting it.
Okay,
Just
we see
melted
another
the
Dyna
cell.
ult coming out at top. They get secure a kill. Meanwhile, the support may be a bit too deep. She gets out. Okay, the red team actually looking to re-engage at this point, but the blue team turns around. The Diana is just doing so much damage at this point. Okay, we see a Tristan jump in, but she's already too late to join the fun. The blue team probably gonna get another tier 2 tower up top, and meanwhile we do see Fiora split pushing the bottom lane. This is just free gold going to the pockets of the blue team, Chief. They're just getting so much work done all over the map. It's pretty late for the red team to do anything at this point.
I'm just gonna be telling it out in the open because 3GT is gonna be winning this one. It's gonna be a 3-1. That's what I feel like because when Diana gets fed, there's no way you can compete with a fed Diana, especially with the Twisted Fate. A Twisted Fate is a charm, no, which you play around when you have pick off comps. Like you really do have a pick off comp. You have a Leona in the team. You have a Twisted Fate, but you're not really playing around them really well. If you play around
Yeah,
these
Chief. I
champions really
think
well,
it's just the blue team who has outdrafted the red team at this point because the draft just makes no sense at this point. The red team
it's
have
not
went
about
for a
the
mixture of a team and a pick of comp, which is not working out really great for them.
it's not just about draws. When you have something like Twisted Fate in a team, you're also been out macroed. You're being out macroed by TGTS. Like you have Twisted Fate. You are supposed to be the team who's going to be out macroing the other team. The complete
I
opposite
mean,
is happening in this game.
macros are not easy, Chief. It takes a lot of time to learn and it is hard to understand. The concept has never been easy. But yeah, if with a TF on your team, you should be out macroing your opponent, Chief. That's pretty much all you have to do.
Also, we might be seeing the Fiora is getting a solo kill on the Darius. Yes, she's going to be flickering this. The Darius flicker does come in, and she's going to be able to get
Meanwhile,
the kill
she
on
is gonna
Darius.
die for this, but the blue team are gonna trade it for the dragon as they will be able to melt it down before the red team gets anywhere close.
I think, yeah, this is
Okay,
I
no,
think the
we do
game is
see a
pretty much.
TF ult. He just ults there in. Drakan actually goes in for a knocker, but he misses. Okay, the jungler goes in.
Oh,
Diana
Diana
misses
missed
her ult.
the
This is
ulti.
probably gonna be the best chance red team's gonna get for a comeback. They go back in Diana, but she goes right down there. ADC. She deals a lot of damage. There's a TP coming in from the crackers. Ezreal doing a great job kiting. Meanwhile, we see the blue team ADC cleaning up the red team while she gets a triple kill. She gets a quarter kill. Maybe she won't get the penta, but she will save the fight for the red team. Okay, they do go for a penta, they dive the turret, but they end up giving the shutdown on the J4.
But I would say this whole fight was like the whole fight between Jarvan and Tristana. It was like full that meme, right? Call the
It,
ambulance, but not for me. So that's
Tristana
exactly what the
literally
Jarvan did.
demolishing red team at this point, Chief.
I mean, I really did see that Tristana, Tristana already having so much fun. She said, "What's scary?" She said, 5-2-1. Okay, when you're quite ahead of the Astral, but I would say that Astral tried to kite pretty well.
I mean, she did get 4 of those 5 kills in this fight, Chief. She wasn't doing a lot until now, but that's all you need to do as an ADC. Meanwhile, we see Rakan jumping in, but is that a pointless jump? No, he goes back in. The blue team does manage to get the back line, but meanwhile, we see a good disengage from the Kraggers. They jump back in, they just turn around, they ditch J4 and they go for Kraggers. Blue team just gets the cleanup at this point, and they will push mid. They pop the scanner and they are not going to even stop to clear the board. They're just going to. Okay, they
You see a refuse coming out because a surrender coming out. And, I
refuse to
mean, at this point,
surrender.
I don't think it matters much because you can't really beat TGT. Like every single person on the side of the blue team is quite ahead. Diana been ahead, so Rama's been ahead. What's that guy's name? The Fiora been ahead. There's nothing much you can do.
I mean, the TGD is just a smart thing over here. They decide not to go in for the mid turret and they decide they just go for the Baron. Meanwhile, we see a TF World and a J4 going for an engage, but the rest of the team is too far to follow up. Will these two able to be hold on? Will that happen? We see an Ezreal ult coming in. It hits a Diana, but it does not do a lot of damage. Leona, who's coming back in. There are 3 guys close. She goes back in. Will she be able to land a great ult over there? But no, we see Diana going back in, but we see her re engage. The blue team actually manages to pull that off the back. They actually get the kill. Dynasty's last hope at winning this game just goes down the drain at this point. That was
Well,
probably
I
the
would
best shot
say,
they'd have at a comeback, Chief.
I mean, yeah, that's not going to be any comeback in this game because the Diana just made a difference in this game. Just look at how well she played the fight. Jarvan going in on her, the Twisted Fate going in on her, the ultimate coming out by Liana onto the Sunfire coming onto her, but the way Diana played, using her shields, using her dashes, using her ultimate.
I mean,
And
she
I
didn't
really say
have the
this
Baron
Diana
buff,
kind of
Chief.
out.
That
It was
probably
kind
was
of
the
tough.
reason.
That's a good outlet then. And at this point, I think the Fiora being good pushing all this while the Ramos just forming up. I don't think there's nothing much they can do. I mean, Fiora
Okay,
might be in a
Diana
bit of
goes back
trouble.
in again. Oh my god, this is abusing the red team right now. This is just a difference in farm team. There is a 13k goal difference. There's nothing the red team can do about this at this point. Okay, we see another tower dive going to happen at this point. The minions also doing a lot of AoE damage. The blue team does manage to get a lot of damage, and Tristana jumping forward. Meanwhile, we see Fiora, who's probably a little bit overstepped. No, she stepped back right at the middle. They're gonna split push the other lanes. They're gonna go for top again. No one's split pushing bot. The blue team's probably gonna look to end this at mid. Okay, Chief, this is it, Chief. It's done.
I
The
think
goal
that's pretty
difference
much
is too
the end
huge.
of this series. And with this decisive fight, it's going to be a 3-0 in the series. Or is that going to be a comeback?
It's a 3-1 Chief. It's done. It was well played by both the teams, Chief. It was really interesting and it was a nail biter, Chief. It was a good series. It was 3-1. Both teams had their great moments. But in the end, one team's got to win and the other's got to lose.
Yeah. So with this, the semi-final, second semi-finals come to an end with a decisive score of 3-1 in the favor of TGT. And with this, TGT is going to be moving on to the Alphion, not Alphion, sorry, Aphelion eSports finals against Band of
And they're
Hawks.
going to face Band of Hawks, Chief. It's going to be an interesting matchup, which I'm pretty sure no one is going to want to miss.
Also, one thing I would say, man, TGT is going to be winning with an Ramos. That's something quite big, right? Because usually, if you see a Ramos in drawing, I would assume it's an auto loss. But TGT making the Ramos work.
It's all about synergy, Chief. It's just how each champion works good with each other. We all knew meta picks are just good for rank pushing, Chief.
I think yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. So thanks guys for tuning to the stream, and with this we're gonna be coming to an end to the semi-final series. And yeah, that's it for our end. So signing off.
Alright, bye bye.
Goodbye, good night. And also guys, we have to wake up at 5:30 tomorrow for the Copa finals as well. So if anyone's gonna be
Oh
watching that,
yeah, I'm watching that, Chief. Wanna join me? I'm rooting for
yeah,
Brazil, Chief. Who are you?
obviously it's gonna be easy clap for Brazil.
Yep. But meanwhile, it's Messi, Chief. You can never underestimate him on any good day. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'll text you tomorrow in the morning. And this is Kiyoto signing off. Good night.
Yeah, good night. हो गया ना अभी ऑफ